You're not enjoying your life because of your problems. You're not enjoying your life because of your attitude toward your problems.
You wake up and your knee is hurt. You don't say, oh, my knee. You say, Lord, I thank you because you're a healer. You're a healer.
You see, how can you put your faith in God when you're having problems if you don't know that you know that you know that He loves you?
I'm bringing them in. I'm bringing them in. You have to learn how to bring them in every dark situation. I'm telling you, it works.
Welcome, Jericho and Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on our Easter Gym podcast today. So, we just wanted to say thank you for coming. Jericho's my nephew, and Lee is his lovely wife. So, we just wanted to. They're about to embark on a new journey in Christchurch, and so we just wanted to hear what they have to say about their journey and what their experiences have been growing up, and ask them a few questions. So I'll just. Do you want to introduce yourselves or?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I'm Lee Iava now, as of almost a year ago.
Wow.
I come from a family of 6. So I'm a middle child. I've got 2 older sisters and my younger brother. We're both spread out. So my sisters are in Australia, my brother, myself, and my parents are here.
Yeah.
I'm Afakasi, so I'm Samoan Māori, and I work in tech. I've been in tech since I got out of uni, which has been pretty interesting. I'll let Jericho introduce himself.
So malo, Jericho and Mo'iava. Thank you very much to you guys for having us on the podcast. As overly excited as you can probably tell, so I'm trying to chill out a bit. But as Auntie was saying, I'm Auntie Jules' nephew. I come from quite a small family for Samoans. So I'm the eldest of 3. So it's just myself, my little brothers, Dwayne and Thurston. Big age gaps, we'll probably get into that later on as well. Raised by a single mother, but also with my grandparents and my uncles and aunties. I was full Samoan, but still on my journey of learning what that is when it comes to Ngangana Samoa and even the Wha Samoa side of things as well. New Zealand born, and hopefully you guys all well today.
Okay.
So,
No. And tell us how you guys met.
You can start.
oh man, this is a story that we get asked question we get asked quite a bit.
We have different versions. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll let Jericho start.
We've been friends for 15, 16 years now.
Wow.
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah, maybe a bit longer.
A little bit longer than that. So we met in intermediate in year 7. So in intermediate, I was quite shy, but I always tried to do my very best to stay on route with the academic side of things.
Yeah.
And in doing so, unfortunately, I think I stood out quite a bit at Howard Intermediate, but not in the good way. And so I was very wary with how I approached new people. And so I remember in PE, we were doing some sort of joint, it was like a running shuttles thing. And we did that, and then I stood next to this girl, and she was really nice to me, but I was obviously very nervous. And she said, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." But because all the other girls had just finished saying, "Oh, ooh, get out of here," I was like, "Oh yeah, no, this guy's trying to make fun of me." So I just looked straight ahead and I ignored her. But then I saw her again when I was running out and about during interval and lunch, and she was always like the only person or only female that would wave at me and be quite nice. And yeah, she always had a beaming smile. And then I think I got the courage to just start talking, and then we became friends ever since then. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like I thought he hated me because I was like, "Hi, I'm Lee, da, da, da. Like nice to meet you," and I looked at him and he was like, I was like, okay. But yeah, then we became really good friends. I think in year 8, and then all the way through high school, like year 9 and 10, we were still quite close. And
yeah,
Jericho moved to Australia for a short while, and then when he came back, the sparks. I was like, this guy had a glow up. And then friends turned into
no, it was yeah, it's quite a big journey. I think I've always been able to rely on Lee, kind of even to this day, for like an honest approach. Like we can always just rely on each other. Like I can ask her and she'll tell me the truth, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we got together properly in like 2012. So it's been over 10 years.
Yeah,
like 13
13 years
something.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then luckily got married last
Last
year,
year.
and we were engaged like 2 years before that.
Yeah.
But
It's been a little
yeah, no, I think yeah, we've been best friends for ages. So that's never stopped, to be honest. I think since year 8, year 9. Yeah, very blessed. Yeah.
Oh. So, just from you guys being friends for a long time, your advice to others that are meeting someone, would you advise to stay friends for a while? You know, how did like your guys' friendship, how did it blossom from just being friends to the next stage? And you know, you guys talk about honesty. How has that like developed? Because you know, like when you're a guy and a girlfriend, and it's non-platonic, did that change how you guys were together? If you get what I mean?
I think a little bit, eh? Like, we definitely did not think we would end up together.
Yeah.
Like, as friends, it was completely platonic. Like, we would hang out after school and there was nothing there. But I think it was, like, the ability to be vulnerable and to be yourself,
Yeah.
you know, and then, like, I saw Jericho super vulnerable, like crying, and you know, he was going through girl stuff and all the rest of it, and I just didn't think anything of it, but I never judged him. Hopefully didn't judge him for that. And then vice versa, I felt quite like safe with Jericho and that trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of touching on that. I think it's quite interesting. I think she was almost like the friend I could come to with anything, almost like especially girl stuff, because she was a girl herself.
Yeah.
And like if I had any questions about a girl I like, I will come to her, ironically.
Yeah.
And then and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think like we were able to trust each other in that sense. Oh, and sorry, to answer your question about any advice that we give to people. It's interesting, because like I think if you're just meeting is quite, that kind of scares me. I've always said this to even my mates as well, like at work and that, like, man, I have mad respect for you guys to go out in the dating game and try to form connections just on the go with someone you've never met. Because I think just from speaking from our experience, it's really helped to have a friend first,
Yeah.
and a lover later.
Yeah.
And I think we're quite biased because it worked in our favor for us.
Yeah.
But that would be our advice. Is because when things aren't going so well as lovers, it's like the quiet times where we're always enjoying each other's company, like where we're sitting down on the couch just doing nothing. It's just relaxing because we can be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that,
like it's a
Yeah.
bit cheesy, but like our definition of love is always like it's no matter what you're doing, who do you want that person to be that's right beside you? And I always thought of Jericho.
Mm.
You know, like if we were at a concert or if I was like trying to like pulling my hair out about work or whatever, like the person that I would want by my side would be Jericho. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
yeah. I think we're quite fortunate as well. Like the longer that we've had, because I think it has developed quite a few times since we were younger. Like, yeah, we were just friends, platonic, and then the honeymoon phase of meeting, and we're also like 16, 15 as well.
Yeah.
And then I think the third key stage was probably just after high school, where you've left high school and you're journeying out there into the real world as a young adult, but for the first time. And we were very fortunate to do that together. But that had its own challenges.
Yeah.
And then I think the fourth is probably moving in together.
Yeah.
Like where we thought initially, oh yeah, we've got this sorted. You know, we not only have we been together for so long, but like we've been together through after uni, and you know, we're going out partying and that, and now we're settling down, kind of.
Yeah, we definitely grew up together, I think, through all of those stages.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't been all like sunshine and lollipops. Like there's
No.
been some hard times.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's just that underlying friendship and trust
Yeah.
to know that you'll pull through.
Mm.
You know, I remember like we talked about the honeymoon phase, and when we came out of it and it was uni and you're thinking of, well, what am I going to do with my life? And we were just conflicting like all the time, but I think it was our values and our trust in each other. You know, we always like came together and said like, this is what we think is the right thing at the end of the day, you know, and then how we're going to compromise and get there. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and I think something that a lot of people think is kind of like what Lee was touching on, is like it was easy breezy the whole way through. And I think any relationship shouldn't be that way. There always has to be challenges to not only make it exciting, but because once you've overcome the challenges, you know that, oh yeah, I definitely want to be with this person. We've been through that mess, and so not only can we definitely do really want to be together, but what other challenges can we tackle together? Because we've just been through that mess, you know.
Yeah.
So we've definitely had our fair shares of struggle together and against each other.
Yeah.
But in the end of it all, we always chose to keep together as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very lucky.
And I think, like you said, like a lot of people, when they look at love, they look at, and it's only because me and Sione have been together for a long time too, is we say to people that love is a decision. It's not the, you know, the touchy-feely, the emotional side, because when you love somebody, through thick and thin, you're going to stand by them.
Yeah.
And
You keep
just
choosing them.
yeah, like you said. And I mean, I remember so many times we broke up and
Alright, fine.
and
we're
then
back.
then we're back on, and then, you know.
Yeah.
So like you said, it has its challenges, but once you make that decision to continue to stay together, because we were the same, we started off as friends, and even now it's just easy. I don't see myself after doing 20 plus years with somebody putting that much energy into somebody else, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a lot of energy, your heart, your soul, everything's in that. Is that the same for you guys?
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely. Like, yeah, it's that whole question around like, at the end of the day, who do you want to come home to? You know, who do you want to be? Who do you want by your side? But I think with love, it is choosing and making that decision, a conscious decision every day to show up. One of our close mates, she's just got into a relationship, and she's finding it, they're starting to like butt heads a little bit. I think they're passing that honeymoon phase, but I said to her, like, the second that you stop fighting for each other, or that you decide, you know what, this isn't worth it, we're not going to talk about this anymore,
Yeah.
that's when the love starts to die, because you choose not, you know, for that person not to be your person.
Yeah.
Yes, which can be quite scary.
Yeah, and it's hard as well because I think we're very privy to the fact that we can only really speak from our perspective.
Yeah.
And like we have quite a few friends that are very different. That we always talk about like relationship advice and all of that as well.
Do a lot of them come to you guys for advice because you have been together for so long?
Yeah, quite a few, but we always try to preface like our journey is completely different to theirs, especially if they're you know, they're just new to dating, or you know, they haven't been in long-term relationships. So yes, they can take what we've been through, but also just remember that their experiences are their own as well, and they're completely different people to us.
Yeah. It's, sorry. I think it's really hard because like it sounds like it's quite simple. Like you choose your friend and make the decision to be there day in, day out. But I think, and we kind of talk about this as well, is like it's not if you can be with them when they're at their best. It's when they're like downright worst. You know, when they're hating on everyone and they're just hating themselves perhaps. And if you can be with them then and support them, or even find comfort at that point, then you know that, okay, yeah, we're going to sit this through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's quite a hard thing for a lot of people, I think. Because it is a lot of energy that you pour in, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you make it through, it's all the more better. Yeah.
No, just it's so interesting to hear your journey about being friends first, because like you say, I think with the changing environment in this day and age, a lot of people get together first and then think about it later. And so like you said, once friendship and you establish something, then you've got good ground to explore that further. So no, that's awesome. And then it's so good to hear you guys giving your advice, you know, because and for so young too. That's what I'm finding really amazing is, you know, you guys met young, and normally by now a lot of people have split. So yeah, so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, that's really good. Thank you, Atia. Yeah.
Disclaimer, don't start dating at 13.
Yeah.
But you can have friendships.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, in saying, you know, your circle of friends, you know, because we always say you need to be careful of the friends that you choose. What's your circle of friends like, and do you guys add value to each other, or is it because you guys have gone through to school together and come up in that way?
We always talk about this because it's I think you kind of reached us at the perfect time where we've reached a new chapter in our life where we're moving forward to a different city. So and with that comes this like new job, new thing, and like you start talking to your friends about it. But how do I explain it without? I definitely see this is one of the. Can we edit this out, maybe? Because I'll start from the start. Like we had a strong circle of friends, purely initially because we were all together at high school, and we went through our challenges and daily chaoses together, you know.
Yeah.
And we maintained that friendship after high school as well. I think what changes things is like the different chapters in your life and whether or not they might align with those chapters. Even whether or not we might align with their chapters, like whether or not they move overseas, or if they're choosing to delve into different activities and that. Like a simple analogy I could think of is like maybe we're all used to playing video games, but one of the boys wants to go gym, and then now he's gymming more than he video games, and now he's got his new mates as well. It's kind of like that after high school. But even it's difficult because I think as Lee and I are moving into Christchurch with the intention of hoping to start a family and get a new house, I think it becomes a little bit hard to maintain the circle of friends as we once did.
Yeah.
Just because everyone's off doing their own thing. We're all nearly 30 now.
Yeah.
But the ones that we do keep in contact with, we're still very close with. But it's like if you can be friends after not talking for so long, you know, because life it gets really busy lately. So it's just yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been really blessed. At least from my perspective, I think all of our friends through high school and then, you know, finding friends through uni and work and sports and all the rest of it, like, we've been really good people, you know, really lovely people. I can't think of any one of them who are of like ill intent or have done us wrong in a way.
Yeah.
So I think we're really lucky to be attracted to those kinds of people. But I think, like Jericho says, like the different stages in our life, you know, people have come and gone. We've come and gone from people's lives. We've got a really like lovely, cool group. But I think, you know, I used to be so upset if like, oh, I don't see so and so anymore, or you know, we used to work together and I never see them. We spend every day together. But it's different. You can appreciate the friendship for what it was, and then they sort of drift in and out. But yeah, we definitely have like our very close friends that we can just call up after 6 months not hearing them. I literally like texted our mate. We'd spent time with him in Sydney, and I just messaged him now like, are you alive? Sorry, we haven't seen anything since February. Are you okay? So I think as long as you have like that good core group, you know, who hold you down, who know you, they've known us since like high school, but through all the ups and downs, then it's really nice, you know, when you do see them, they keep you grounded.
No, I definitely have those types of friends. Like I don't even see them for 2 or 3 years, and then you know, we just catch up for coffee or we ring each other, and it's like we never left. It was still the same. So I 100%, and it's those friends there that you really treasure, because you might not see them for 5 years, but it's still the same when you do catch up. So
100%. Kind of like they kind of outlive the friend status. They're more like family at that point. You know? So, there's not much of an urgency to try and maintain that constant connection, because the connection is bypassed by that, by that, you know, that relationship that we have now. Like we don't need to see them all the time. So I think, because I just realized now, it sounds like the way I said it, it's almost like, oh, we don't care about our friends. No, it's quite the opposite, in the sense that it's like, because we're all so secure in our friendships, we don't really need to base a lot of our life around like having them there, because we know that if we need, we're there for each other. Like they can always call us and vice versa. And I think that's what makes it special, especially because like she was saying, one of our mates is in Sydney, and they're starting to spread out all over the world. One's in London. Like it would be good for you to live your life, and then whenever things hit rock bottom or you need a shoulder to lean on, we're right here, and vice versa. So it's just like,
No, so good. So what would you consider dangerous? Like advice on as a couple, the dangers of other couples trying to find their way through life, and some advice, because I think it would be really, like, especially because you guys are still like, late 20s, and even though that's young, there's like a lot of wealth and experience and life experience in there. What would you say?
Yeah, I guess it's the challenging part that I think new couples or people, looking for their person would have to navigate is probably just the insecurities that seem to come out to play. That's, I think, what causes toxicity in couples. Like, for example, for me, and obviously we put it down to like immaturity and being young and, not knowing how to navigate life. I was so insecure about like different parts of Jericho where I'm like, oh, he doesn't trust me, or he's talking to this person, and things that definitely did not happen, but it's just because of my insecurity that I didn't address or learn how to unpack.
Yeah.
So I'm really fortunate that Jericho had the patience to let me unpack that and work me through it. He was quite accommodating, where he would say, okay, what would make you feel better, or how can I talk to you about this?
Wow.
And I think when you're going into a new relationship and you have some of those insecurities, or you can feel those triggers, it's really important to learn how to not deal with them, but understand them and understand what's making it triggered. And I think that's how you'll slowly unpack. Yeah. What about you? Do you think there's other challenges?
I think, ironically, on the other side of that, because I think I was quite fortunate to have Lee being quite patient with how I go about life, with confidence. Because I used to do quite a lot of things with confidence and just live as I do, and in doing so, I might do things that might offend Lee, or she might find distasteful, or something similar to that, without my knowledge. And I think my advice would be just to be very self-aware, beyond just being self-aware of what you're doing, as the things that you might not be aware of, like how something that you do every single day might hurt someone, and it's just like for example with Lee, she feels that she was insecure, but I actually think now as an adult, like, a lot of the things that I was doing wasn't appropriate, and although I had no ill intentions, I was very fortunate that she would raise them, and then it gives me a chance to kind of self-reflect and think, shoot, actually, okay, just hold up, she's saying this, let me just take a step back, and rather than bark back at her and be like, no, I'm not, like, oh, am I? Well, what does it look like? And, oh, damn, I am. I see what you mean, and let me just tweak that for you, and is this okay? Because I think it's all good and well to go into a relationship and then have the other person say, oh, they're insecure, they can just deal with their insecurities and fix it. But it's another thing, I think, to just really make sure that you're doing all you can to make sure that they feel comfortable, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to just have them deal with it on their own. That's what a relationship is, that you work with each other. And I was very lucky to have Lee. Like we've had our arguments here and there, but I was very, very fortunate to have her stick by me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But
Just to make it clear, it wasn't like infidelity or anything.
It's more like, oh, he's not doing the dishes again.
Yeah. But like literally, that sometimes that can be a game changer. Like dishes might seem like such a small thing, but when you're living together and you go to work and come home, that small pet peeve can become a problem. You know.
It can be depressing when the dishes are not done.
I'm like, oh, here we go.
And it might seem silly for like for me, I'm like, oh, come on, chill, like they can be done tomorrow. But for her routine, it's like, oh no, we please, every end of every day, dishes got to be done. or my small thing is like, oh, like, why is that on the floor?
Yeah.
And like like it's the small things, but changing those small things and then making a habit of it, all of a sudden you guys are living in synchronization because oh, she doesn't like that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, actually, why did I not do the dishes, or why did I leave those shoes on the floor? It's before you know it, you're like in synchronization. I hope that helps answer
No,
yeah.
it's good. And that is one of the things, like you said, insecurities is definitely one. And the other thing that I think that I see that's quite toxic now is manipulation. There's a lot of in relationships, and I guess so when I look at your guys' relationship, it's out of love and self-sacrifice. So you will make changes so Lee can feel more comfortable, and same vice versa for you two, because you already know that's a decision that you guys have made. And so I'd see a lot of relationships where there is a lot of manipulation, and like you said, we talk about if you're in a relationship, really you're serving each other because you know that they've got the best intentions for you. Yeah, in that
100%.
way.
Yeah, I think like manipulation is sometimes it can be I don't know how to say this like politely, but like
Just
people playing the victim,
yes,
and it's like, for example, like with an insecurity, someone would use that to their advantage. And like I think we've had our moments, but don't try hardest not to be in that position. But you can see that where they say, oh, I'm this kind of person and that's just the way I am, but that's
not looking to change or adjust anything.
Exactly. And that's where the manipulation seeps in.
100%. And like kind of like on the other side of manipulation, I guess, taking accountability for like, I guess people call them flaws, but flaws like insinuates that you can't change them, or that they're ingrained in your character. But I'd rather call them like just little dips in your character that you can learn to change together. Because and taking accountability for it first, like they can point it out, but if you don't acknowledge it in your heart that it's something that you have to change to, then it's just gonna stay there, and then gonna keep coming up in arguments, and before you know it, I'm out the door, So it's just trying to do your best to take accountability for what you might be doing wrong.
So good. Okay, so what challenges have you had together as a couple, and how has this impacted you both?
Like that was pretty much it.
Well, but and how have you overcome? Because sometimes we can hurt each other unknowingly, and it's about how do we get over the hurt and continue to hurt, because like you said, sometimes we have insecurities, and when we're hurting people hurt other people. So how has that,
I think like a really early on example is, I guess a trigger for me is if we're in an argument, I just my coping mechanism is just to shut off and just quiet. And I'm used to just going off into my own space, but it's conflicting with Jericho's where he needs to have conversation to understand. And then early on in our relationship, it just sort of came to a head where he would like ask, and I'm trying to like back away or just like have my quiet place, and then it would just blow up. So then now we've learned like I have to compromise and just give a little bit, just say, like, even just saying, I just need some space. That's enough for Jericho to be like, okay, I'm going to back off. He's not going to keep going. I'm not going to keep going. And we kind of understand each other. But that was a big challenge, I think, when times are hard and we both wanted our way or wanted
Yeah.
to be on the same page, but just weren't. And yeah, I think it's worked really well, Like to be able just to communicate a little bit from my side, and for Jericho to be able to give some space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's helped us heaps.
And that's actually it. I feel like that was probably one of the. Yeah, that was something that we discovered later on in our relationship, like very recently. Like not recently, like last week, but like last couple of years.
Yeah.
Just before we got here.
Like and it's dumbfounded by it because we've been together for like 10 to 11 years at that point. So we're like, oh no, we're all sussed. But we noticed that every time we would argue, my first reaction is like, why would she not want to talk about it?
Yeah.
And I know her first reaction is like, why is this dude bugging me? You know? And then because I think maturity plays a big part in it, like because I'm hurt, I'm like, oh, if you want space, then I'm gonna just go out for a run. And I'll go for a run at like 12 o'clock at night. That's happened once.
Running too.
And then she'll give me a call like, oh, you know what? When you get back here, your clothes are out the door. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want that. I thought you wanted space. And then vice versa, she could turn around and just bombard me when I'm really just trying to chill. And that's what it feels like for her with me just taking up all the space. So it took a lot of maturity for the both of us to realize, man, like this is my safe space. My safe space is talking about it. Her safe space is just having some time to think and acknowledging that, look, we both love each other still. We just had this bad argument, but I will give her some space and then she will make an effort to come out and talk. And then it was weird at first because obviously she didn't want to talk and I'm holding back a bunch of words. Like I really want to bombard her with a bunch of questions. But
It's really funny, Like after one of those arguments, I'd come out and it would be like, "You okay?" You know,
Are we all
tail
good?
between the legs.
Yeah.
and I'll be like, oh, like I have to make sure it's just like one word answers. You know, I shouldn't give her a novel just yet. You know, and we've learned now that whenever those situations do arise, like what her triggers are, what my triggers are, and to avoid them as much as we can,
Yeah.
because it might seem impossible, like because we're quite opposite. And so that's what attracted us to each other in the first place. But in doing so, when times get hard and you're opposite, like sometimes you just need to compromise.
Yeah.
You can't live it perfectly, otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
And it's been quite healthy after that. Like she'll tell me exactly how she's feeling, and I'll give her some breathing space. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you. Okay, so our next question is, Lee, what do you think is one of Jericho's best characters?
Oh. There's not to sound cheesy. There's so many. You know, Jericho's just a all-rounder in terms of what it means to be a man and you know, a husband, a friend. Like, yeah, it's tough to put it down to one. I'd probably say I think he makes the hard decisions. You know, he is good at he's good at standing up when he feels something's wrong. He's good at, you know, tackling challenges head on. He's good at having the difficult conversations with me, or putting his foot down, and that I really respect, because not a lot of people can do that with such like respect and care. You know, when you're able to still hold, you know, like in Māori terms, like the mana of someone, but have those difficult conversations. It's probably one of his best quality and traits. I don't know anyone who's like felt wronged or feel terribly about Jericho. everyone loves Jericho, you know, and he could tell you, like, look, like, we're going to kick you out the house or something, and the person will turn around and say, oh, thank you, you know, because he's just that kind of guy. I don't get it, you know? But it's just like, I'm really lucky that, yeah, that he's with me.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I think when he makes those hard decisions for us and for the family, you know, we're better off for it. And it's not me shouldering it, like he'll take that sort of that pain or that challenge away from me, which I really appreciate. So you keep doing that and I will be supporting you. Yeah.
Cool. So, Jericho, what do you think is one of Lee's best characters too?
I was just trying to think the whole time she was talking, and I was just like, but it's hard to. I think because I think like kind of what she said about me, I actually think that's true about her. She's an all-rounder. I'm very fortunate that she can tackle the parts that I find difficult to do myself. One of those is actually, I think, it sounds a bit cheesy as well, but maintaining like love and care and kindness in times of like strife, which could like say if she is saying that I'm making hard decisions, a lot of those I feel like I lean on her to bring out the love in that. Like say if I was kicking someone out the house, she would say, oh, but remember, like, make sure that he's got a place to go to, you know? Whereas for me, sometimes, like, I feel that I can be quite tunnel vision when it comes to making decisions. And Lee helps to broaden those lenses by saying, well, like, take a step back and, you know, I know you're thinking that this is correct, but remember, like, there's people, there's people affected by this or something like that. Like, I really admire that that's probably my biggest admiration for Lee is being able to use her human heart where in times where especially others can't. And I feel like, for example, that could be like if everyone's up in arms in an argument, Lee might feel angry as well, but will always take the time to be like, look, even though this guy just like threw something at your head, like maybe he was having a bad day, or like he threw that by accident, you know? She's always able to see the good in people and the good in the situation, which allow both of us to be able to adjust any action accordingly, like not overdo it. And I think that's why I think I'm very blessed to have Lee, because when we are making decisions, it's never an overkill. It's always just right.
Yeah.
So it's I'm very, very lucky for her heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very lovely. So on that, do you know about love languages?
Yes.
What would you think would be your top two? Well, Lee, what's Jericho's top two, and Jericho, what's Lee's top two?
Do you mind? There's a list of it, right? There's a list of.
There's five
Love
for
languages.
love languages. There's time, gifts. I think acts of. Hang on, I'll just bring it up. So you'll have 5 of them. One will be. Here we go. Because we talked about it a lot. But yeah.
Gosh, sorry, Auntie.
No. So one is words of affirmation, which is if you speak kind words to someone, that's going to be their love language. So if you were to communicate with them knowing that words of affirmation is their love language, you wouldn't say unkind things to them, you would encourage them. So words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, and touch.
Okay.
So physical touch. So like let's say for myself, one of my love languages is acts of service. So if someone gave me a gift, I wouldn't appreciate it as much as if I come home and the house is clean. That's what fills my cup. If I come home and Elijah's done the lawns or the gardens, I'm like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then my husband is quality time. So it doesn't matter if we just hang on the couch and we just sit and just sit in silence. That's quality time to him. So
I like that. Oh, and we're doing
just
our own
even
or
just
for
do
each
one
other?
each.
Oh.
One each. Which one do you think is?
I'll try two.
Yeah.
Words of affirmation
Yeah, I'd
and
agree.
quality time.
Oh, is that,
Yeah.
is that
You?
for me? Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Would you agree or no?
Yes, on words. I thought quality time would be it. I think touch actually. Yeah, yeah. If I think about it, if I really think about it, like, but no, yeah. I think it's hard between touch and quality time because I think this is only as an adult now. I'm realizing, like there are people in my life that I don't have quality time with, or I haven't seen in ages, but I feel that I still feel that strong connection with. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about quality touch.
Because I was gonna say maybe for Lee it would be acts of service, and
Yeah, so I can completely relate with
yeah,
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
acts of service and quality time. I think. Would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also a toss up. Like quality time. I feel like because we're always around each other,
Yeah.
like that is our time together.
Yes.
But
Well,
is it quality? I don't know.
because I'm thinking when I think of us two, quality time all the time.
Yeah.
I was trying to think like for you and like your siblings or me and my siblings
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
yeah.
because you guys are always taking them out, and that's to spend the time together,
Yeah.
whether it be just hanging out, whether you go for a swim or because that's what you do and that's what you do. A lot of family time is just even hanging out at the beach for the day,
Yeah.
and I know both of yous are always out
Spending that
with
time.
Oh my
spending
gosh.
time. Like you'll come and take the boys to the movies, or
Yeah.
so.
Oh my gosh. I have to think about mine. Then you
That's a
might
good
be...
observation.
Sorry, that's a really good question.
So that's why I can agree,
Yeah.
because I see it,
Yeah.
just being around you guys.
Lucky we don't have Thurston here. I mean,
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be
little
thinking
brother.
about that all night. Like, oh man.
So, now tell us a bit about your faith journey.
maybe I
How
can-
has God played a part in your lives? Were you raised in a Christian background? Were you raised in church? Just tell us a bit about that.
Do you want to go first? Or
Yeah. So I grew up in the Christian faith. I went to quite religious schools. I started off, so I was born in Brisbane, and then I spent primary school going to Christian schools, and then we moved to Christchurch and we went to an Anglican school.
Oh,
That was like a private school almost, the Blazers. We did mass like every day. And then we moved to Auckland, and then just church stopped, you know. Mum and Dad felt like we were old enough, and if we wanted to continue practicing, they're Christian too, but they, you know, I guess weren't active churchgoers, but they felt that if we wanted to continue on, we can. But I think that, I guess, like automatic stop to going to church was quite hard for me to adjust to, because I spent probably intermediate when we met and like high school not going to church. That was really it was difficult. I think I was just exposed to so much more, and I'd obviously gone to these private religious schools early on. It's kind of like the floodgates are opened, you know, where you're just like anything goes. You know, you talk to people who practice different religions, you talk to people who aren't religious at all, you know, and then as a teenager you're trying to navigate all of that. And I think instinctively I've stayed close to my Christian faith. I haven't practiced it as much, but in saying that, like the last couple of weeks has been just amazing, you know. We'd gone to church with Mum just to support her, you know, and you were there as well, and the second we got in there and I heard the worship and the songs, I freaked out. I wanted to leave, and I was telling Mum as well, I was like, oh, I just don't know if that's, you know, like I was getting really uncomfortable. And I just kept looking at the door, and I was like, no, just stay, it's okay, no one's judging you, no one's looking at you, you know, just be here and just take in. So I found that quite like unraveling almost. But throughout like my young adult years, I was away from the church, and then it felt like these last couple of weeks it's like coming home, you know, and it was just I didn't know that I was missing that part, that piece. So I'm really grateful to you and to Mum, to Chris, for taking us along, just being so encouraging as well. You know, that was felt really safe. But for me it was like I was just like a identity crisis or something that was going on, that was bubbling inside. So I'm really grateful that you guys are so supportive and just being there.
Especially, like you said, being raised in church. And then, you know, I couldn't, because you would have felt exposed, when everything just stopped.
That's exactly it,
And then you were like, what the? And then, like, you probably weren't used to the swearing that was coming around from school.
No, exactly that. It's like, oh, we're not going to go to mass, we're not going to, you know, do a prayer before lunch or anything like that. And then like going into intermediate, you know, these are kids that are just experimenting with things and swearing and all the rest of it. And I was like, oh, you know, this is like fish out of water. Actually, I had a full-on meltdown actually on the first week of intermediate. I like called my mum down. I was like, I'm not going to this school. I don't understand these people. Blah, blah, blah. They're swearing. These boys with moustaches. It's just the whole thing. Then my mum was like, just try. And I think, like in hindsight, it was good exposure, because not everyone obviously out there is like us, you know, practicing the same religion. But I think it was just a tough transition. You know, and when you don't go to church, you just lose that part. You know, you're kind of trying to navigate it by yourself, or your parents are helping you as well. But it's just different.
That's amazing, because I guess, like you said, when you and Jericho started forming that friendship, it was like a lifeline almost, that you could talk to someone, and, you know, knowing his personality, you know, he's like real chipper and just talks all the time, and he makes you feel comfortable. I think that's one of your strengths, is that like when you talk to someone and you're kicking them out of the house, you know, they don't even know, they think it's complimentary, so they're happy to be kicked out of the house.
Just a disclaimer, I've never kicked anyone out of any house. I wish I could have a house to kick someone out of. But
whenever sometimes I'm like, all right, you got it.
Oh no! Thank you for sharing that with us, because totally understand where you come from. So it's a bit similar with me as well.
Yeah. I think we were saying last week in church, you know, that we felt like all the lights were on us when he was talking. I've forgotten the exact verse that he was reading, but yeah, it is a bit like that, you know, where you can now interpret the Bible and interpret the Word and like apply it to your own life and your challenges that you're going through. You feel like all lights are,
Yeah.
but it's not in a bad way,
No.
you know.
And I think, like you said, like even today, for when they were talking about the message, I was listening and I was like, man, you're speaking my language. You know, and you don't even know, but like today I was thinking, and the tears were coming down, and I'm like, writing my notes, you know. So I think, you know, when, and nobody else knows, only God knows your story. And yeah, just grateful for you to share that, because I think one of the things when I came back to God and I got saved again, I felt like a piece had been missing for a long time and I didn't realize it. And I always, if I be honest, I felt I never fit in anywhere. And that's how I felt, you know, growing up too, you know. And I was quite quiet and isolated, so when people would talk to me, I have to go away and think about it and then come back with an answer. So yeah, I was quite quiet as well.
Yeah.
So I don't have, when people talk to me fast, I don't have quick reactions, and you know, I'm not that person.
No, yeah, and then it's just like, feels like church has helped, you know, make that okay.
Yeah. And you coming back, like you said, you were a teenager then, and then now you're this age coming back. What eyes? The eyes obviously are different, but I think, like you said, you're coming through, and it's like things are making sense.
Yeah, 100%.
And yeah. So.
That's exactly it. I think, yeah, with every week that we've gone and the lessons that we've learned, we've been able to apply that in some way. I think the scariest lesson was from last week's, where it talks about holding up the mirror.
Oh,
you know, and you practice, you know, the word, you practice it, you know it, but you don't live by it. You know, you haven't applied it, and it's just holding up that mirror to show you who you really are.
Yeah.
And if you are living up to the standard that you've set or that he set. Yeah, so that was a big eye opener to me this week. So I actually worked up the courage to leave my job, which I've never ever done before. But I was pulling my hair out. I was telling Jericho, I was like, oh, you know, we just make any wrong mistakes. You know, we're going to regret this. Like, I've never done anything like this. And then Jericho kept asking me, but is it right? You know, what would happen if you left? And I worked up the courage to do it, and I handed my notice in on Tuesday. I was so happy. Like,
did you feel the burden lift off?
I was like, okay, now I'm gonna gun it. Now I'm gonna do exactly what I want to do. You know, I don't want to look for another job, which is so weird because I'm such a secure and safe person. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna try do my own thing. I'm gonna try build my own, you know, business, and like, now's the time to do it. And I just wouldn't have had the courage or faith to do it if it wasn't for Sunday. You know,
so good.
Yeah, so I was just, it's been really helpful, I think.
Yeah,
for both of us as well. Like, Jericho's been on this journey. I think your upbringing was with Nana and Papa, and going to church.
Yeah. Big journey. I'll wait till after you. Yeah. Oh, did you want me to answer that as well? Oh, sorry. Man, it's man. I feel like, I don't know if I've had a journey that's similar to that of others. Maybe New Zealand-born Samoans. But I think, before I say my journey, I think I have to preface it by saying that, like, a big part of it was almost separating the identity of being Samoan and being Christian, because usually they're so intertwined that if you don't go to church, there are some people, some of our own people that might say, "Oh, then you're not Samoan."
Oh, really?
Yeah, that where it was like,
Oh.
"Oh, like what? Like, what do you mean you don't go to church every Sunday? Like, and do you speak the language?" That's usually the next one that comes up.
Yeah.
From my experience. And so a big part of my life, and I think closing up with coming to church with you and Mum, has been trying to identify how I feel with that, and letting that sit and fixing it and realizing that, like, nah, like, it doesn't change how Samoan I am, and it doesn't change my faith with the Lord either. Regardless of where or how many times I go to church, so long as I believe that the Lord is there and the way forward, you know. But yeah, I guess going to church, my first exposure to church with Nan and Papa, very young, probably until the age of like 10 or 9, where they brought me every Sunday, and it's a Samoan church. So, and I don't speak Ngana Samoa, but being deaf probably helps, because I'm just sitting there listening to the guys speak Samoan for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and I'll just accept it. But I think, and that was it. Like, I'll finish and then go back to Sunday, the next Sunday, sit there, not understand anything, then and I think that played a big part in how I saw my relationship with the Lord at first, from a young age. I didn't know it then, but as an adult, I can kind of reflect, being like, oh, like, so long as I go on Sunday with Nan and Papa, then I'm Christian, you know. I believe in the Lord, you know. But yeah, I don't know what they're saying, you know. And then they'll put me into Sunday school, and then like I'll color in I'll color in the things, and then go and then get my muffin and go home, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas and I think because it wasn't really strongly connected at that point, there was an incident that happened at the church. It's not even that big of a deal, but it was like, I think someone was throwing toilet paper on the roof, and then I got blamed for it.
Oh.
And my thing is, like, I didn't really care that much, but I think being raised with Nana, Papa, Mom, Uncle, and my auntie, it was like a village.
Yeah.
Nana, Papa said, "Don't worry about it," and my uncle said, "Oh, just leave, because they're gonna blame you, and then they're gonna keep blaming you every time you go there." Because I did feel stink, because I was like, I didn't do that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's such a small thing, but I remember specifically feeling like, man, all the aunties that were really nice to me are looking at me weirdly, like, and so I'll sit there, but they're like, I used to say good morning to the aunties, but they'll just look at me and like, and then I was only 9 or 10, and at that point I was like, you know what, I might listen to Uncle Nan. I might just, we can take that name out. But I might listen, and then I left. But it's funny because obviously being 9 and 10, you're going to school, and I would always say at school, "No, I'm Christian. I believe in the Lord," and that will carry through. So I stopped going to church at the age of 10 because of a silly incident like that. But all the way through to now, I always said that I was Christian. But I think going into our teenage years, I started to delve into, okay, what does that mean? You know. And first and foremost, I thought, being Christian is Samoan. And being fair-skinned doesn't help either, because I'm full Samoan, but like a lot of people say, oh, you're not real Samoan because like you don't look it or you can't speak the language, you know. And then that's a whole nother discussion for another time, or maybe another question later. But I think I'll carry that on, and I think into our adult years after school, Lee and I will start asking questions about, well, are we Christian? We don't go to church, and we understand now that we're Samoan no matter what.
Yeah.
We're Samoan Māori no matter what we do. We are Samoan. believed that, but we hadn't really reconnected that faith.
Mm.
And then, yeah, Mum said that she was going to church with you,
Mm.
and that's what I mean. It is very new. This reconnection with the Lord from like a faith / church perspective.
Mm.
Because I always thought that for the longest time, like, and it was quite disdainful of me. I used to say like, well, yeah, I don't go to church, but at least I'm not at the club on Saturday and they go to church on the. I was very rude like that because I was like, some of the boys would be like that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even go to church, like you're not even a Christian.
I think
Like-
that put us off as well, like
100%.
throughout like our early 20s and stuff, because we'd talk about church and that, but then like the judgment that comes with it, and then
Yeah.
you know the people who do go to like some of the people who do go to church like don't live by it.
Mm.
You know, it's that same thing of like go to the club when, and nothing against the clubs,
Oh, we
but
love
like
that.
when you're pretending that you're not.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the thing as well is because that's something that we're learning as well with the faith is that like we're forgiven for our sins, but it's just making sure that you reconnect as much as you can,
Mm.
because that's what the life presents, you know, is the things like the clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I guess that did put us off
Mm.
is the judgment. And again, it was that judgment. Like I was 9 years old being judged, and then now I'm being judged again as an adult.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but I always made sure, and same with Lee, that we're living in a quote unquote Christian manner,
Mm.
like as much as we can.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I think when we came into church, it was. I think that my fear was a little bit different in that I was like, man, the last time I was in church, I got blamed, you know? And then so this time I'm like waiting for the pin to drop. Like, what are these guys gonna be like?
Mm.
Like, are they gonna start outsing my Samoanness, or are they gonna start outsing how many times I've been to church,
Mm.
or are they the type where I'm gonna say good morning to my aunties? I used to call them aunties at the time.
Mm.
But then if I miss a day, I come back and they're ghosting me, giving me the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
No, and everyone seemed very genuine, like not just on the stage, but from in the crowd. They acknowledged that we're all very different, and we're coming from this thing that is called life, modern life, you know, and the lessons are so. They opened my eyes and my heart to the Lord in a way that I've never thought possible, and to the point where not only are Lee and I looking forward to Sunday every week, but we find ourselves aligning ourselves with the teachings of the previous week at certain points throughout the week as well, and sorry, that was
It's been a
my
really
No.
like
Yeah.
organic journey,
Mm.
I think. Like I mean, like I said, it was just more to go along and support,
Mm.
you know. But then it just actually, we do want to keep going,
Yeah.
and now we're listening, and now so it's just growing over time, short time.
Yes, and sorry, the first sermon that we listened to, the pastor touched on performative worship,
Mm.
and that locked me in. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and with love, I know that there are people at the church that I used to go to that do go for the Lord, but at least for myself, I think I was doing performative because I'm not listening to the word, you know. And I also learned, don't worry about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like, don't say, well, at least I'm like not going to the club. Like, just focus on yourself and how you can develop your relationship with the Lord, and just go from there.
That's good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, that's very good, and I'm like really excited. So just in the few weeks that I've seen you guys go, there has been a change, you know, and there has been, like, from my view, looking from my eyes, the one thing that I think is so amazing is that you're open to it. You're open to wanting to learn about God, but more, I think, your relationship. I think before it was maybe, like you said, you got to do this, these are the right things to do. No, you're not allowed to do that. But now, as if from an adult's perspective, because in my 20s, I said I was a Christian. I was at the club too.
We all.
As we all are. As we all.
So,
But who's saying they're not?
yeah, and so I think you look back on that and you think, but just to see the change for you guys in the last few weeks, and the fact is you're applying it. That's the most important, and just coming with an open heart every week. So I'm just excited to see what your journey is gonna look like, and I will mention. I think it was was it the first week that you were there? Used to were there, and the pastor
Oh,
was
yeah.
a guest speaker, and
Yes.
he had some
Yeah.
words of encouragement for you both, and I thought, yep, that's about
All the
right.
way.
That was
And
strange.
he just didn't know you from a bar of soap, but he just felt to say, what was on his heart that he felt God was saying, for your guys' journey. So,
Yeah. Oh, we were very blessed. It was so strange. That was our first week.
mm,
And he called us out by name. It was very strange. I feel like a lot of things were unlocked on that day.
Yeah.
mm,
I think personally, my thing is and I've lived by it since that, is not worrying about others.
yeah,
I think that's probably one of my biggest regrets, is always finger pointing. Oh, you're pointing at me. What about you? What you're doing? What are you doing for God?
yeah,
They're going through their own, and how dare I
yeah,
point at them? And same thing. For anyone that's looking to reconnect with God, no one knows, like what you were just saying, Auntie. No one knows you but the Lord Himself.
yeah,
So don't listen to people, even myself. Don't listen to me about telling you what you should do for God. Yeah, no, it was such a blessing that first week. Very strange.
yeah. Because I could definitely tell that when he spoke, you guys were like, "What?" you
so weird.
were like, but it was so awesome
Yeah.
because you knew that God was speaking direct. Because no one's ever met you before. You the first time, and then God's, he felt a word of encouragement from God to say to you guys.
That was so special as well. Especially as we embark on the Christchurch journey.
Yeah.
We were like, wow. And then we were also kicking ourselves. We were like, why?
Man.
Why don't we come sooner?
100%. We were because Mum's been talking about it, and kind of like what you said with us, we saw a change with Mum as well.
Yeah.
And we can't thank you enough for that, Auntie. Honestly, I think not only for Mum, but by proxy, and introducing us, reintroducing us to the Lord. We're very grateful, because I think
Yeah, you provide
Yeah.
such a safe space for everyone.
I think I'm lucky because I think just for me, I've just shared with Mum what God's done in my life, to be honest, and I tell her about all my mistakes. And I think one of the things with Mum is just being real,
Yeah.
and being a lot of my mistakes. Like there was one time I didn't come around to her house for 1 month, and she was like, "Cuz, what's happened?" I said, "I can't come around because I'm too toxic right now, and if I come around, I'm just gonna be backstabbing people,
Burning it all."
Yeah. And so, it's about the realness of that,
Yeah.
and just our relationship over time, and I think, she's seen the challenges that I've gone through, but also how much I hold on to God through those challenges, because in seeing that, we can all be hateful, but because of who God is in our lives, we're able to have extra lashings of love, you know,
Yeah.
over people that
true.
you find challenging. So, yeah, I'm very grateful and honestly very privileged to see you two come and just see the change. Because, like with Mum, what changes did you see in Mum? And I don't, you know,
It's so I feel like she's since she's been going, there's like this weight lifted off her. You know, where like I know that going to church, spending time with you is like the highlight of her week. You know, where she gets to unpack and unwind from the week that she's had. But because she's got so much on her plate and she does so much, you know, like going to church, I don't know, it's just like allowed her to just breathe for a second, and maybe some of those challenges she might not find them challenging anymore, you know, because she has her faith and like just knowing that she's got the right support group and all that around her. But yeah, she's just, I don't know, like just lighter, you know, and she feels like happier. She feels just more just like ready to embrace life, not just, and I think we can all like, we all fall victim to is just dealing with life.
yeah,
You know, now she's just, I love it.
Yeah,
yeah,
You know?
I think, yeah, I think Lee hit it on the head. I think it is interesting seeing. I think maybe the biggest change is acknowledging what is on her plate, because
that's good.
I can definitely see that she's taken the lessons from church and trying to apply it to her own life in the way that like trying to look at it from a third person perspective, like from the Lord's perspective perhaps, and being able to adjust her daily duties accordingly to try and minimize the negative impact that it has on her life. And yeah, she's like, it's not so like chaotic for her anymore. She's able to pinpoint what's wrong, and I think it's also allowed, coming with you as well, it's allowed us to see what's on her plate, and I'm just so surprised that she hasn't crumbled under how much is on her plate, and I'm so grateful for what the Lord has done to allow her to stand on her own 2 feet,
Yeah,
despite the challenges.
yeah,
So I think, yeah, definitely seeing what there is to deal with, because I think maybe I am my mum's son, because taking accountability for just things that we're doing, I think she did find it hard before to see that no, there is a lot on your shoulders. Like, don't just say, oh no, nothing's wrong. You know?
Yeah, I think she'd like discredit herself for her hard work, and we're like, no, there's so much that you're dealing with, and I feel like church has helped her realize like her plate is full.
yeah,
You know, and she's like, she needs help or she needs support, and that's okay.
Mm.
You know, but I think it's just been eye-opening maybe for her.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Like, before I knew that she had a lot, but I didn't think like to really delve deep. And then, I think now that we're all aligned with the Lord on Sundays, we're able to see throughout the week, like, oh, this is what Mum's going through, and how can we help?
There was something, right? It was just something, tedious, like getting rid of a broken car, right? And the car had been there for like a couple of months, and she wasn't going to fix it, which is fine, but it's just removing it from the house.
Yeah.
And it had taken like up until maybe last week, and then Jericho said, she picked up her mat.
Yeah.
And decided that was it.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing that we can just talk about, relate it back to what we'd learned at church.
Yeah.
As well.
That's what we learnt on that day. At church was, I think the pastor was talking about a sickly man that was on a mat by the well that was used to heal people, and then Jesus came through and told him to rise and pick up your mat and leave, and soak yourself and leave. And what Lee and I took from that is like, that means not to fall victim to the accidental self-pity that you might find yourself under,
That's good.
and to allow yourself to tackle these challenges. And yeah, I was so proud of her. I was like, she said, I'm going to get rid of the car. And I was like, oh, nah. Like, okay, all right, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be there in like 30 minutes. And I got there, and the car's not there.
Yeah.
And that was such a weird thing, because I think, again, taking accountability, I think both Mum and I did struggle with that, like acknowledging that there is a problem and to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
Just
so
to see
proud
that
of
shift.
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, it was like the old is gone and the new has come now. Like, getting the car to go was an old problem,
Yeah.
and now she's looking to the future, to something new. So, no, yeah,
Go her. Yeah.
Oh man, honestly, there's so much we could talk about the new faith that we found with you guys, but it's so applicable to life. It's insane. It's yeah, and not to like for myself. Like, if I could go back to myself when I was like younger,
yeah,
I was just telling that, like, maybe you can find a church that isn't just going and singing and then leaving. Because for me at least, it doesn't work. I need a proper connection with the Lord.
yeah,
And I know that for a lot of our people, that does work, and I'm very happy for them as well.
yeah,
But I think for myself, I just needed some practical application of the Lord's advice.
yeah.
And Elam, oh yeah, so good. Yeah.
It's amazing
No.
church.
That's good. Yeah, Mum's an incredible woman, and I think in my journey that I've known her, she has changed a lot. She's starting to communicate, which is, like you said, been something that's been a challenge. But oh man, actually, as you were talking, I was like, actually, she's really changed a lot, and I just didn't realize it. But I always said to her, I think it was about a couple of years ago, I said to her, you'd be an amazing, when you get to know the Lord, you'll be amazing. She's like, oh, come on. I was like, nah, you'll be really amazing. And just when I hear some of the stories of what she does, at work and stuff like that, I'm just cracking up laughing, because she's like, I'm putting a Bible verse with you, like it or not. And because your mum's real sassy, and she's very bold, and that's something that I definitely admire about her. Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
Oh, thank you. I think on that, we're very, like I said it before, but we're very grateful for you to come through for Mum as well, because I think it's funny you call it bold, because I actually think that you're quite strong and bold in your own right. It really stands out, like, because you're right. I think you would be considered quite quiet, but your strength is definitely showing, and I really appreciate you sharing that with our family, because your mum might seem, she is sassy, but I feel like having your quiet strength to guide her as well, and to hopefully have you back each other. This we really appreciate it. Thank you.
No. Yeah, thank God. I'm just grateful to God, because all the mistakes that I've done in my life, I just share with her, and she just laughs. So very grateful. Now, a question for you is, with your hearing disability, how has that impacted you growing up? And like, I'm looking at you now, and you look so confident. Do you get what I mean?
Thank you.
And amazingly so, and well-rounded. So tell us a bit more about that.
Thank you. I think, ironically, it's definitely owed to Mum. I think so. You probably can't see it on the podcast. I got hearing aids, and I've had hearing aids since I was 5. but mum's always taught me to never see it as a disability. And as such, when I was going through school, I actually ended up forgetting that I had them on.
Oh, amazing.
I think I've had them since I was 5. Initially, I remember it was so hard to go to school with my hearing aids, but I noticed that the more that I'll just act normal and kind of not pay attention to my hearing, the more that my confidence grew. And ironically, I think it was one of my downfalls growing up, because I think I was too overconfident at times, you know, where like I'll only be reminded of the hearing aids if kids will start mocking me,
Oh,
and then I'll go over and start mocking them back. You know, it's just like I forgot that I had them on. But I think I was very blessed, I think, having mum to guide me through that. And then not only that, throughout my schooling years, having teachers and friends that not ignore it, but kind of not even support it either, but they just support my journey as someone with a hearing impairment without acknowledging it.
so
Yeah.
they just treated you like a normal everyday, like someone who could hear, and you just got
Yeah.
used to, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, really. And I think I've been told many times as well that people forget that I have them on. I think, yeah. Well, it is interesting though, because I know that all the doctors were telling mum to send me into a deaf school, and they told me, told her that I wouldn't be able to thrive in a normal school, that I need to go to a deaf school.
That's when her sassiness
Yeah,
really helped.
literally.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
She was like, nah, she's got a skill.
Oh, I was very fortunate. I think, yeah, some might find it irresponsible of her to ignore the doctor's orders, but she said, "Nah, I'm sending him to a normal school, and that's that."
Yeah.
And I remember that there were speech therapists that came in and tried to teach me to speak. As you can probably tell, I've got a bit of a lisp. I feel like I do, but people say,
It's not noticeable.
Yeah.
"Oh,
No, it's not noticeable.
I think it took me years, I think, to get through it." But yeah, and I think it only became noticeable again that I had a hearing loss when I started playing rugby last year. And then it was going well, and I took a big hit to the head in the scrum.
Oh,
And then I went to the audiologist, and they said, "Nah, man, you got to stop playing rugby right now, otherwise you'll be fully deaf."
oh,
Yeah, so,
really?
and they said, and it's amazing.
Hey.
Apparently, my hearing, most of it is I don't know the scientific term, but it's like mental, like so my hearing is is at 20%. So technically, like there's certain sounds that I can't hear, but my brain is creating the sound. Oh, sorry. My brain is creating the sound to fill the gaps.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And he's really good at lip reading, eh?
Yeah, I have to. I think I learned that when I was a bartender. So it's funny. Another question I'll get is like, "Oh, how were you a bartender? Like when the music is pumping and all of that?" And ironically, I think it was easier for me to take orders because I'm not listening. I'm like kind of like paying attention to their body language and their facial expressions. And try not to lip read them too much. Like I'm trying to understand what they're saying by looking at their eyes
Oh,
and like the small tweaks. Because if you're just staring at people's lips while you're, I wouldn't have lasted as a bartender for too long. I think I was growing up with that. I'm very lucky that I kind of formed those connections without realizing. But yeah, I had to give up rugby, no contact sport for me anymore. But yeah, no, I think to answer your question, sorry, I went off on a tangent.
no.
I guess the way that I dealt with it is almost pretending it wasn't there.
That's good.
Yeah.
And 20% is a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, do you know what I mean? It's,
100%. I think I'm noticing it as I get older.
mm,
But because the mental connection wasn't like that in school. It's only later, I think maybe because of that hit in rugby,
mm,
where it's like, oh, like a lot more of it is mental now. But I think I'm just grateful to hear. Yeah. I cherish my hearing very much.
no,
Yeah, I think the rugby thing was just like a reminder that you do have to be
yeah,
conscious of your ears, of your
Yeah.
hearing, you know. But he's had some really like amazing experiences, like even just seeing kids. Do you remember that kid
Oh yeah.
at the warehouse?
Oh, like actually, I might speak on that real quick.
Mm,
So like I have had instances in my life where I or will meet others that have hearing aids,
mm,
and I noticed a significant difference in how they might carry themselves in public,
mm,
where they're very aware of the fact that they have a hearing loss or issue,
yeah,
and so they might not be as loud or they might not be as confident.
mm,
Like there was this kid that came through to us at the cafe and he was stressing,
yeah,
and the parents were going like haywire because they're like, oh, like how could you leave your batteries at home? And he was devastated because the hearing aids run on batteries, and he was so stressed. I felt so sorry for him, and then I reached out to him. I thought, oh, I've got hearing aids too. Like, what size? And his eyes just lit up,
oh,
and I said, oh, I'll give you my batteries. And it happened again at the warehouse when I was by myself. This kid just came up and gave me a big hug. And then the dad said, "Oh, like I'm sorry about that." I said, "No, it's okay. What's wrong?" He said, "Wow, you have hearing aids just like me.
oh,
But you're working because I had my uniform on."
mm,
I said, "Oh yeah. What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, can I work? Can I be like that when I'm older?" I said,
oh,
"Yeah, of course." You know, like I didn't think much of it then, but I'm realizing that like, oh, like can he work in normal spaces, quote unquote?
yeah,
And yeah, I was very happy to pass that confidence on. I said, of course you can. You know,
yeah,
you have just as much as a right to these spaces as others do, as what people deem quote unquote normal. Like, don't let that hearing become a barrier to what you want to achieve in life.
Do you think you should be a role model for deaf people?
Oh yeah, 100%. Right.
Just only because my own brother, he's my stepbrother, but my own brother Bobby was deaf, and he's amazing. He has his own business. He lives in Australia. You know, he has his own business. He went to uni, and you know, I think one of the breakthroughs, because he doesn't have as good speech as you, but he lip reads as well.
Yeah.
But I think one of his breakthroughs is he had an operation that he's got a steel plate in his head, and his hearing aid, it's like a magnet.
Sheesh.
But he can hear very, very well now. Like, I could have my back to him, and I'm talking here, but he can hear exactly what I'm saying without reading my lips.
Wow.
You know, and that's where he got the operation was in Christchurch. But my brother is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Where he's never, and probably similar to you, he's never let being deaf ever, you know, because he's played for the New Zealand cricket deaf team,
Sheesh.
you know, and stuff like that. Like, he's achieved heaps, and
That's amazing.
you know, he's run his own business for so long, and he's a hard worker, you know. So yeah, like you said, we need more role models, because I think more than likely in this day and age, parents put that on their kids by saying there's something wrong with you.
Mm.
And they, like you said, you can see it in their insecurity when they're like stressing out because I don't have my battery, or and I think maybe you never know that there might be an opportunity that comes up where you can be a role model for kids, because there's a lot of insecurities these days with deaf people, and they need positive role models to, like you said, they're asking you, oh, can I have a job?
Yeah.
Like, that they feel they're limited and they shouldn't, like you said, know that the world is their oyster.
Oh, thank you, Auntie. I think if the opportunity were to arise, I'd love to. Like, I love working with kids. I think, especially within the deaf community,
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. I think, yes, it's interesting. I think my biggest worry would be to accidentally, like put my own experiences on them, to think like, yeah, of course you can go. I think I'd like to cater it to who they are as a person. But no, I'd love to. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be qualified enough. All I've done is just live life. To be yeah. So I think but if there is anything that my average life could I'd love to, because yeah, especially from a confidence standpoint. Yeah, for sure.
No. And so, Lee, just one for you is, in the short time that I've gotten to know you, you are an amazing, woman who's successful in your career, even though you've just ended in your notice. What's your definition of success? How, for those out there, because everyone has a different view of success. What's yours?
I think, yeah, it's sort of, I guess, like that question's come up quite a bit these last couple of years. But I think it would be living by your values.
Yeah.
Being values aligned, knowing what's right and what's wrong in your heart, might not apply to other people. And I think that's what sort of steered me to this decision.
Yeah.
I kind of thought on paper, like the career, and I've been really like privileged to work with such, wonderful companies, but be surrounded by like a variety of leaders who have helped, like, who have shepherded me throughout my early career. But it's just like, I don't know if I was truly happy or just trying to be happy. On paper it looked good, but was it values aligned?
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Until I've got into this decision point. Yeah, but I think it's someone who knows what they believe, who knows what makes them tick, and then be able to live by it.
Yeah.
I think another thing, it's called like puku power, like your gut instinct as well.
Yeah.
Like I knew that I might not be cut out for a particular role, or I might not enjoy it the way I think I would. And like that gut feeling stuck with me,
Yeah.
So it's just being able to sort of take those signals, and I don't regret any decisions, that we've made along the way. But it's just being able to be your authentic self, confidently, and obviously lucky, with the likes of you guys and church, just having that stability to ground you in those decisions. Yeah, I would say that's my sort of definition of success, but I think it's kind of always, always changing as we grow.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So, Jericho, for you, how would you describe yourself and the type of person that you are? Like, would you consider yourself reserved or laid back or confident? Like, probably people are already getting a good picture of you. What they-
It's interesting, yeah. I might seem. I actually thought I was quite reserved growing up, but like I think I do like to talk. I love people as well.
yeah.
I would consider myself someone that likes to talk to people, but this is actually a harder question I thought actually. Is I think for the longest time, and this is something that Lee and I had to work through together. I just saw myself as the eldest brother, which sounds weird, but I think since I was 9, I've always been the eldest. And when Dwayne came along, and that was kind of who I thought of myself as. And in doing so, all my other characteristics kind of fell in line with that. Whether that was to be reserved when need be or loud when need be. So now with Lee, I think I then learned, oh, maybe I am quite outgoing and loud and talkative, and then maybe I'm just a husband or a boyfriend. But I think I would just consider myself. I think I'm still learning, actually.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Because I think a lot of people tend to put themselves into like predisposed roles, or they might give themselves just adjectives to say they might be loud and outgoing or chill. But I think reserving yourself to one word might be doing yourself an injustice. So I think, for the longest time it was eldest brother, but for now I think to be confirmed. Yeah, I'm not too sure actually. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, we were reflecting before. We could be back here again in 5 years' time, asking the
yeah.
same questions, and what would that look like again? For you
Yeah.
guys. So, no. So, for you, Lee, how do you see the different generations, and what's your take on that?
So we consider ourselves the correct term is zillennial. Where you're part Gen Z, part millennial, but that's just because we're late 90s kids. But I think it's interesting, like we've grown up in a world with technology where computers and having internet is the norm, and having exposure to lots of things, is the norm. I think where Gen Z is concerned is there could be an overwhelm, I guess, of what they're exposed to. And sometimes it's good in a way where you build resilience and you know what you're looking at, you know how to deal with it. But then on the other side, it's kind of like not a victim, but choosing to, I don't know how to say it, but choosing to because you've been exposed to that, you weaponize it. Where you say, oh, I'm so exhausted by this, and I'm so exhausted by seeing this information, like the wars or all the rest of it, which yes, it is bad and it's exhausting, but I think it's just manipulating that into their lives to say, sometimes this whole woke culture, it has its ups and downs. I think we're seeing more of its downs now with Gen Z. And we've played into that as well previously, I'm not sure, but you can kind of sort of pick up on those bad parts. But I think we're Gen Alpha, which is the next generation, or the generation below us, which is Jericho's little brother. I think where they're concerned, it feels like they're playing a whole different ball game.
growing up faster.
Yeah, way faster. I think we thought we were exposed to everything, especially on the internet and gaming and that, but they seem to just speak a whole different language. And
Yeah.
like even right down to schools, it feels a little bit different, especially with COVID. Like talking to Jericho's little brother, he's just saying like, oh, he knows about these apps and he knows, and his friends play this game, but we didn't realize that that game can do all other things, you know? So they're just exposed to all these different parts on the internet. But it also feels like they're a little bit more boisterous
Yeah.
than us. They just want
Yeah.
to tackle everything, and I don't know if that's because of age, whereas Gen Z might maybe fall into the victim card a little bit too much. Yeah, and then luckily, you know, we feel like one generation's worse off than the other. We'll just say we're millennial. Oh, that's okay. We're not really that generation anyway. Yeah, so I think on the millennial side, like I've had exposure in the workplace. They take on a lot.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah.
You know, where they're just so used to just get on with it. Just, you know, this is the norm. Like sometimes like bosses or managers could be like boomers or Gen X, you know, and then it filters down to millennials where you just get on with it.
Yeah.
They don't care, you know, just do your piece, and it's not worth your mental health or anything like that. Whereas Gen Z seem to push back in that regard, and sometimes good, but feels like a lot of times it might be bad. But yeah, I think there's all sorts of challenges with each generation. I think the one that's going to be most interesting is Gen Alpha,
100.
Yeah.
with especially with AI coming into the mix, you know.
And it's becoming more and more like that with AI, the go-to.
Exactly.
You know, whereas it used to be Google, but with AI, because it's constantly evolving, we have to be very, very aware because, you know, we've seen the movies back in the days where the AI can think for itself, and then before you know it, it's manipulating humans and all that.
Exactly. Well, they say like, what is it? The generated content, like new content that they can create.
Yeah.
You know, for like the untrained eye, even for ourselves as Gen Z, we don't know what's AI and what's not. Yeah. Like if we'd run that past Gen Alpha, they'd be able to pick that out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah. And I think what I'm finding, like even on social media, you see, let's say, like you see someone famous, and then they say it's an AI, but it's got their voice, it's got a video of them, and you're like, and this is the only way I can tell, is if you go to the YouTube and the normal person has like 1.5 million followers, and then the AI pretender has got 122 followers. That's the only, like, that's my, you know,
that's a good way of spotting it.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
So, and then normally I go on and I'm like, delete this account. They're pretending to be.
That's just freaky, eh?
But yeah, so yeah, you're right. They can spot it just like that.
Yeah.
So
it feels like a whole nother language.
Yeah.
That they'll be living in. Yeah. What do you reckon?
I definitely agree. I think it's interesting when we talk about generations. There's definitely pros and cons to each, and you often see that the previous will always have an issue with the next, and vice versa. Like,
We're the best.
and it's funny. I think Lee kind of touched on it. We're very lucky we can switch sides if we need to. Like, I guess my only observation is that Gen Z, maybe a con could be that, yeah, unfortunately they do find themselves in positions where they may have what the older generations call a victim complex. But I think I admire Gen Z's kind of drive to push back against what previous systems have forced them into more often than not. And then, but they are often quieter or more reserved, whereas the millennials, I think, kind of the flip side, where they were outgoing in that.
yeah,
And I think being zillennials, if
Feel like that's the
were
one.
such a thing, we like to try and pull both,
Yeah,
to try and benefit from both sides, because I love
it's good.
the open perspective of Gen Z, and I love the drive that the millennials have. But it is interesting because I think Gen Alpha are definitely the generation to watch out for, because they seem to encompass both with like an overdose of confidence. I think, yeah, which is interesting. I guess maybe it's just because of their age. I mean, the kids. But I'd be very curious to see how they carry themselves in a world that seems to be heading into a strange direction that we've not seen in history before, where AI takes greater precedence.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, we just don't know how they'll turn out. But I think I'm pretty excited.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Might be terrified, but
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
Excited or terrified.
Yeah.
Okay, so for both of you, think about the answer is, who's one of your role models and why?
Sheesh. Oh, sorry. Do you mind if I say so?
Hi.
It's interesting. It's just talking you through my thought process. I'm finding it hard to find one because there are so many,
Yeah.
and I kind of alluded to it before, like where I feel that I owe a lot of myself to many people. So like,
You would just put
Yeah.
them in a basket like encouragers or, you know, yeah. And you don't have to name them, you know, because that's the other thing is like,
oh, this is hard. Sorry, Auntie.
no. So
Shoot.
while
Yeah.
you guys are thinking about that question, another question for you both is, what does leadership look like to you?
I love that. I love talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
On the role model thing, I think an easy answer would be to say mum for myself. Another easy answer would be to say Lee. I think in terms of taking my entire life as a whole, I would say Lee is probably a role model to me, because I feel that in our relationship we're able to identify where, kind of what I said before, where she's able to pick up on my shortfalls and I'm able to pick up on hers, and in doing so I think it might seem like a cop-out answer, but I feel that I'm always constantly learning, because we're so opposite. Every time that I'm stumped, I can learn from her, and vice versa. So I think you'd have to say me, but I definitely think for the trajectory that our life is going in, yeah, Lee's definitely my biggest role model at the moment. I think, and not the only, but definitely the biggest, by way of the impact that she's had on my life and is having on my life as we move forward. Yeah, that's my role model. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. That's nice. No pressure. Yeah, it's like obvious is Jericho all around. But I think I'm having difficulty as well, probably similar to you, where I take like inspirations from people.
Yeah.
There's so many people in our lives that have left a mark or left an impact on us. You know, like at school we had like really good teachers that would like not just be a teacher but be like a confidant. If they saw that we were off, they were like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and I really appreciated that, like that sort of stuff stuck with us. And then our friends as well, like showing humility and
Yeah.
patience, and then being encouraging. All of the people that I've worked with and Jericho's worked with as well, as like taking us under their wing. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's not part of your job, but they just do it because they're good people and they believe in us,
Yeah.
you know. So there's so many different leaders, I think, that have come in and out of our lives. But I think the one that stays is Jericho. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
And I think leadership, was that your second question, Auntie? What,
Yeah.
what is leadership? Is that what your question was?
Well, because I mean, when I talk to both of you, you don't really talk about leadership, but you guys display it.
Oh.
And like even that first week, the pastor, the guest pastor was sort of like alluding to that when you guys go into the next part of your journey. So yeah, that's why I'm asking the question, because do you see yourself in that space, and would you look to continue to develop that more? Because when you listen and when people go back onto the podcast, you guys offer a really good a good overview of like a good representation of your generation and your age group, and who you are as a couple, and how God's impacted and continuing to impact your guys' lives. And yeah, so
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah,
That's a huge privilege
to
to be thought about like that. I think from my side, like the thought of being a leader scares me, because I don't consider myself a leader. I've been on like leadership courses and all the rest of it, but what I've found is that everyone is like a type of leader. You know, there's no one size fits all. So I think when it comes to leadership, for me, it's such a privilege that people would, like yourself, would say things like that and take advice or guidance from us, because I think we're all sort of in the same boat of learning from each other. But just to have that, I guess, that responsibility, and that privilege to guide and lead, it's amazing. It's not something that I would take lightly, you know, or that I think anyone should take lightly. But I would hope that if people do choose to sort of follow us and listen to what we have to say, that that they know that they're also like in their own right leaders themselves, and you know, can shine in their own way too.
Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you very much. I think I think we are aligned in that, on that front, where, because we're very fortunate to have been called leaders before, but kind of like what Leo was alluding to with how everyone has leadership in themselves. I find it interesting to be called a leader, because I do feel that I don't have the qualifications to kind of lead people to be themselves, that they should be their own leaders, and you know what I mean? So let's say if we were given a group of people and we were trying to align for one task, I would feel like the best way to lead them would be to understand who they are first, and to almost serve them in a way where we can hold up that mirror for themselves. And that way, because I feel like if you're going to lead a bunch of people, that should be what you do first, is understand who you're working with first, and help them understand who they are first. Because there's nothing like leading a team if they don't know what their strengths are. Because how are you going to work with them if you don't know what their strengths are either?
Yeah.
So it's,
We were talking about like going off on this new venture and the thought of starting a business, and we were saying like, oh my goodness, like people want to work with us, like why? you know
Yeah.
like it's such a privilege, and I think it's the same for leadership as well, for people to hear our guidance or to follow what we're saying. It would be such an honor, I
Yeah.
think.
and kind of like, I'm not too sure, I guess, maintaining what we like doing best, which is interacting and forming and cultivating relationships with people
Mm.
and understanding who they are.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe that
I think
be,
it's a big thing for Samoa as well, like service through or leadership through service.
Mm.
yeah.
That's something that we're quite big on as well. It's like it might seem top down, maybe, but like actually, how can we help you?
Yeah.
And then I think that's how you bring the best out, or best outcome, but best out of people as well.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I think one thing that Lee and I are always privy to is make sure that we're always open to other perspectives, maybe even those that are opposite to ours. Maybe someone might say, nah, you should be leading from the front. And if they were to join our team, we would then kind of, rather than shun them, understand, well, what makes you think that? Oh, cool, I understand that. And I think, actually, maybe to answer your question, whatever the leadership style may be, just so long as it is diverse, or being able to accept and use diversity in a way that allows you to hit all the points that you might not be able to hit yourself.
Because I think we talk about Jesus being the ultimate leader.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm very big with that as well is servant leadership. And we're a leader by serving. And I think I was having a conversation with someone the other day where there's a false, I believe that there's a false understanding of what it means to be a leader. So really, the higher up in leadership you go, the more you serve.
Absolutely, yeah. 100%.
And why? Because you're more accountable to people. You're, whether you like it or not. And and I'm just like, I see when I look around, and John Maxwell is one of my like faves of all time, in the leadership world, and he teaches all about servanthood leadership and Jesus being the biggest, especially when he washed the feet of, the disciples, knowing that he's the savior, he's the Messiah. And do you know what I mean?
100%.
And so we even look at John the Baptist, and he, sees Jesus coming, and he's like, John saying, I must decrease, and Jesus, he must increase, as in Jesus, I must decrease. And straight away, you think about, he's saying to Jesus, I've got to serve you. So I one of the things, and a lot of leaders in my time, they and I pray that it gets better, but they think that you must do what I say. And we talk about, like you said, collaborative leadership. Leadership is when, like you said, you can bring out the best in people. You can believe and stand and believe for them. And we have too many leaders that point out, you're not doing that, you're not doing this, you're short on that, you're not qualified for this. And I think we need to become like people of change. And
just like thinking of my early early stages of my career, and even actually maybe last year, where I've had like people leaders show humility
Yeah.
and humbleness. You know, I was like interning, and we used to run like a lot of workshops, and then, you know, the typical joke about an intern just getting coffee and that's all they do. I remember at the time, like my she was part of my team, but I saw her as like, she's amazing. You know, she's young, she's a woman, and she's in this space that's predominantly male. And I said to her, "Oh, I'm just gonna run down the road because they're short on coffee, and I'm gonna go get it." And she was like, "No, you don't get it. They can go and get it. Don't you do it? You know, just because you're an intern, you don't have like, don't think that that's what you're good at or that's what you should do. These people can go do it themselves." Yeah, and I was really proud. I was like, "Well, thank you." Like I guess I didn't have that courage to say otherwise or anything like that, but for someone to like come down and say, no, we're all the same here. You know, you're treated the same.
That's so good.
Everyone can go do their part. Yeah, just that sort of example. And then earlier this year, he's like the head of our department, head of digital, where I felt like something was wrong that he was doing. And I'd spoken to him on the side like, "Hey," and I was really scared because I was like, "Oh no, like he's going to challenge me back, or he's going to be annoyed that I would point it out." But I said like, "Hey, we've just like done this big thing. Can you not do this, please? Because I feel like it's not good for the team." And he was really good about it. He said, "Oh, I didn't even realize that was happening, and I really appreciate you, you know, telling me. I'll back off. And like, you just let me know how it goes." But that could have quickly gone south, where he was like, "No, like, who do you think I am? Like, I'm the head of digital. You know, I get to say." And I just told him like later on, I really appreciated that. You know, and that to me was strong leadership.
Yes.
Where he was able to put his ego aside or put his position aside and just let me do my thing and just have like, I guess, faith of trust that I could do what I do.
Yeah.
You know, so
good.
yeah, there's just like little instances like that I think I'm reflecting on with this. Yeah,
That's
really lucky.
That's good.
Can only hope that we return the favor someday.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like we're at a point in our life where we're still learning, and so like it's hard to give a definitive answer on what leadership is, but I have faith that it is like what you said, what Jesus is doing in servitude, because that seems to work, obviously, not only in the Bible, but in the workplace as well. So based on those experiences and our faith, definitely in servitude, I 100% agree.
It's easy to say, but very hard to walk. That's all I'm gonna say.
100%. Yeah, I think it's because, how do I explain it? I guess like if you were a CEO, a lot of them fall victim to the trap that they've worked to building themselves up to that position for so long, and now they're in a position that says CEO. They're at a salary that is that matches that role, and now all of a sudden you're taught, "Now do the same," to make others almost take over you.
Yes.
And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people fall victim to the fear of losing what is theirs at the cost of achieving something greater with everyone else. So, but that's just an observation that I've made. I feel like there could be more things that happen in our life that could challenge that. But yeah.
Remember 5 years time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be comparing answers.
CEO top down.
No, that's amazing. So just for us to go back to that question that I was asking you guys to think about, is role models.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And why?
I think I feel like it's pretty cliche. I mean, like I said, like taking inspirations from so many people. I think more recently, it's like a new appreciation for my parents,
Mm.
you know, which might be cliche. But yeah, they're definitely role models, like, especially when we reflect on, okay, this time for our parents when they were 28, what were they doing? What kind of challenges were they up against, you know, and how did they navigate those? And it's just a respect, like I can see so many similarities between me and my mum, you know, and when you're a teenager and you're a kid, you're just, oh my goodness, I can't believe she does this, blah, 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 blah. But now it's like, oh, we think so similarly, you know, we have the same kind of values, you know, and even my dad, like, just unpacking, like, how he's navigated through life, you know, and I can understand him better, not just as a parent, but as a person,
Yeah.
you know, and it goes for both of them as well. And I just, I take my hat off to them for being able to navigate the challenges that they did and be able to raise all of us.
Yeah.
You know, we're really, all four of us are really grateful. But I think as them just consistent role models, sorry, you as well. but yeah, I think more recently I've just been really reflecting on my mum and dad,
Yeah.
especially with this big move. Like, we moved from Australia to Christchurch to up here, and they navigated all of that with young kids. So they're like, you know, you guys have the opportunity, go for it.
Yeah.
So it just means so much more knowing what they went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's good.
I'm so sorry. Am I able to go toilet?
Yeah. Tea break.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But I'm an old man. I'll be quick. Oh,
Just hearing from other young people, you know, and because I mean I'm old, but to hear just a different generation speak and have some input and like, to be honest, be together as friends first rather than, you know.
yeah, it's a hard thing. It's way less common now, I feel.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are like, just like date, take it easy, you know, get to know them first.
Yeah.
There's like a big difference between lust and love,
Yeah.
you know. It's so easy to get them confused.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is, because when the lust is gone, like, because I remember, so this is a story my brother-in-law told me at the time, is when he was at the club and he met this amazing chick. And then in the morning when he woke up next to her, the eyebrows were gone. The hair extensions were on the side, you know, the makeup, and he was like, ooh, you know. So, you know, we talk about the lust thing.
Yeah.
You know, what happens when all the makeup's off and, you know, compared to the love
The
thing.
bare bones kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we always say, like, if we were dating and all that, oh, it would be a train wreck.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what, I'll be fine, I'm just going to be by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's different, and I think people think as well at our age that time's of the essence.
Yeah.
You know, so just quickly find someone and settle. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, no, time's just, I feel like sometimes an illusion,
Yeah.
you know.
And I think,
Come along.
because I've got women that I know that are having babies at 40.
Wow.
Yeah. And and in my mind I'm like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
You know, when you're young, because I had Lige when I was in my early 20s, and running around him was like, oh my gosh. And, you know, now that you're older, what does that look like? Because I had a friend, her name's Leslie, and she had, I think she was 38 when she had her child.
Wow.
But her partner and her, they were older. So when her son was 10, the dad would have been like mid-50s, you know? So, you know, what does that look like as a kid with elderly parents? You know, that they can't do that sort of stuff, that they can't go to every training or every game, you know? So,
yeah, that's different now.
yeah, it's very interesting. So no.
That's true. Just saying how like some people are like quick to try settle down, but then I guess the flip side is like
Oh,
when you
yeah.
start having kids and all that. I mean, like if you think about Jericho and his brothers, they've all had like different versions of their mum because of their
100%.
ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
even for you guys, because you guys will be navigating when is a good time to
Yeah.
have kids. You know, are you going to plan them or is it just going to happen? You know, so yeah, that's your next journey. Eh?
Crazy, yeah.
It definitely is. Sorry about that, but no, 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 it definitely is our next journey at the moment. Is kids, but no, yeah, and we did have an interesting upbringing because I think with my two younger brothers, Dwayne being the middle child and Thurston being the youngest, Dwayne's 19 and Thurston's 12, and I'm 28, so that's a big age, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Lee's right. We've all experienced a different version of mum, and thus have different relationships with mum. And but what I think us boys tend to forget is that mum is still trying to figure out what it's like to have a relationship with a son that is Jericho, a son that is Dwayne, a son that is Thurston.
Yeah.
Can't just apply the same with me to them and vice versa, you know. So yeah, it's something to consider when we have kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about kids, like the child would definitely have a different upbringing if we were to say 20, 21, for example, compared to
100%.
now. Like I feel like we're so much more level-headed.
Yeah.
You know, we know what we want. We're steadfast in who we are. Whereas like at 21, we weren't.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if we had a child at that time, it would have played out completely different to now. And then same for, you know, if we did have a child at say 39, it'd be completely different. Yeah, I think.
And there's nothing wrong in that, like you
No,
said.
yeah.
You know,
100.
if anything, I have way more respect because, like, my friend that's had the baby at 40, she's an amazing mum, you know. But like you said, for her, it's about navigating, you know. When she was younger, she could easily run around.
Yeah.
But now, you know, she's more mindful about how her time is spent and how her energy levels are.
I think it'd be very interesting to identify like what challenges the child would have as well. Like, like I think we often think about the parent, but it'd be very interesting to see like would the child be a lot more chill because the parent doesn't have as much energy, and maybe it's Lord's will that they just work for each other regardless.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe although the norm is that we have younger parents, I guess it'd be interesting to see or hear from someone that has an older parent where like, and seeing what they're like. Who knows? Maybe they might have the secret to, you know,
Well,
That's
a good life.
I see a lot of couples now, like they'll have a son, or they'll have a child, but they'll try and get within 2 or 3 years to have another child, so that there's like not many years between the two. Yeah.
Actually, on that note, I think there's one thing I really at first struggled to understand and then grew to love about Lee and her family is obviously not only is Lee just the middle child, but the gap between them is like 2, 3 years. 3 years
2
each.
and 3 years, yeah.
Whereas I'm only used to being the eldest of kids. They're like kids at that point, you know. And it was so awesome seeing the relationship that Lee has with her siblings and being able to assimilate into that as their new sibling in-law. And I think maybe vice versa for Lee to see what it's like to have siblings that are like so much younger than us.
They mean the world to us.
Yeah.
You know, the youngest, I'm like, no, not your mum. No.
Yeah.
Everyone will think that he's our child. I was like, no child of mine. But you know, it's just it keeps us young, and also like the generational differences.
Yeah.
we can appreciate and then like butt heads on. But yeah, I think my siblings and I were so close in age where we all feel like we're friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
luckily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like when we say we're opposite, we're completely opposite.
Yeah.
With our family dynamics and our personalities.
Yes. Yeah, like completely different.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I'm single mum with me and then Lee's mum and dad.
Mm.
Understanding what that dynamic is like,
Mm.
and what she touched on with like treating your siblings as friends.
Mm.
That's something that I struggled with because I'm so used to being the authoritative figure and the one to go to if everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
But I think there was a relatively recent lesson that Lee taught me was, well, like if you're sad, show your brothers that you're sad, rather than trying to put on a stone cold face and like everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like ever since then, our relationship's been all the more better for it.
Mm.
And I think, like learning to be friends with my brothers.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm
Yeah,
curious.
like vice
Yeah,
versa as well. Like I fall into the trap of treating my brother like he's like my best friend.
Mm.
You know, and I'll sometimes criticize him where I won't say thank you or like I love you and all that like a sibling should, and
Yeah.
Jericho puts those, you know, parameters around me.
Yeah.
Like the other day he'd helped us sort a car in Christchurch,
Mm.
you know, and I don't know, I was like, oh yeah, you know. Yeah, it's nice.
Just because
But-
he's your brother?
Yeah, you know. But then I heard Jericho over the phone like, oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Like, you're such a good brother. So I don't actually say that,
Yeah.
you know. So it's nice. Like, I think we balance each other out with our siblings.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. Like vice versa. Our siblings are used to the way that we are.
Mm.
So like I guess I told Lee like if you did just say thank you out of the blue, maybe he might not would appreciate that. Or if I started treating Dwayne like a friend, he might kick me out. You know, so it's kind of like give or take.
Mm.
Yeah.
But pretty curious to see how that would translate into parenthood
Yeah.
eventually.
I think it's good dynamics because, you know, as an older brother, you know the responsibility of being the eldest.
Mm.
So you carry a lot of the family stuff that automatically goes to the eldest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with you, Lee, being a middle child, because I'm a middle child, you bring, like you said, well, what about, you know, they could have been having a bad day or, you know, so I think that that's going to be great dynamics as a parent, you know, as parents, and bring a good balance, like that's already happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
thank you.
but I just wanted to say thank you to you both for coming onto the podcast, and I was saying to Lee before, for giving us your perspective, especially as young, you know, young, successful adults in this world, and married as well, and yeah, just having your perspective and advice that you can offer to those as well. And in your, like, I know on the next podcast we have, I want to hear, I know I'm going to love to hear more about your guys' faith journey and how that's, you know, played out in your lives and things like that. So thank you both.
Thank
You know.
you. Thank you for the opportunity for us to share our stories. I think it's a little bit scary for us to even think about what story. But no, you've offered up a really safe space for us to do that, and you're such a kind and caring person, you know, to be able to open up your home and your space
Yeah.
for people to tell their stories. I think that's really special. But thank you, and yeah, your support as well for our faith journey. We'll definitely need to touch base again once it all unravels.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I really appreciate it.
No, thank you
time.
both.
Thank you very much, Auntie, and to Uncle and Lige as well.
team.
Really appreciate you guys. bringing us on like this. It's yeah, definitely a wild first time experience, but yeah, like
Freaking out.
yeah. So no, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. I feel like although it's a goodbye on the podcast for now, I feel like we'll still continue
Yeah.
seeing you throughout the years. So,
Yeah. No.
but I'm truly blessed. Thank you, Auntie.
Is there anything before we close off that you want to say or share or anything at all?
Oh yeah. It sounds weird. So we were listening to one of the rappers I listened to, Dave. It sounds a bit of a random name, Dave, but he's this drill rapper. But it's funny. One of the things that he said in one of his songs, I keep saying over and over again, and I feel like it matches so well with where we're going forward in life. And it's crazy. I wish I could say like I got this from some philosopher from
Drill rapper.
the 18, but no, it's Dave. But he said, what did he say? I don't worry about making next man lose. I just want to see us man win. Basically meaning like who cares about watching what others, especially those that you might see as rivals or in opposition to your trajectory in life. Who cares about what they might say or what they're doing? Stop trying to move against them or trying to focus too much on it. Like spend your energy on having you win. You know, focus on the people that you love and focus on what you can do. Control your controllables, rather than to worry too much about things out of your your hemisphere, you know. I feel like such a weird thing to pair with the Lord's advice, but I feel like it's just it keeps coming up all the time, and so yeah, basically don't worry about seeing next man lose, just worry about seeing us men win.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of mine.
That's really nice.
Could change, but yeah, I'll come back with a philosopher next time. But yeah,
Dave the philosopher.
yeah, Dave. He's a good rapper though. He's pretty cool. UK drill rap, but yeah. Anything you want to say?
No, I think exactly that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I think especially going to Christchurch, it's now our time to hopefully shine and figure it all out. But I think the piece that I would want to leave with is just that, and we talked about it in church, is that you are worthy. You know, and that's a hard thing to accept.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard thing to acknowledge as well. So, you know, maybe I can do this, and maybe, you know, we are worthy of trying out our own thing or having our own family or being on this path. And I think everyone is. It's just how to navigate to getting there.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Thank you.
no, thank you.
Thank you. That's it done.
You're not enjoying your life because of your problems. You're not enjoying your life because of your attitude toward your problems.
You wake up and your knee is hurt. You don't say, oh, my knee. You say, Lord, I thank you because you're a healer. You're a healer.
You see, how can you put your faith in God when you're having problems if you don't know that you know that you know that He loves you?
I'm bringing them in. You have to